This local sports report is brought to you by Allstate Insurance, a proud member of the Cambridge community, supporting youth athletics. For a free, no obligation quote for home and auto insurance, contact one of their trusted advisors. Call Allstate at 226-444-4465 to speak with your local Cambridge Allstate representative.
The Cambridge Minor Football Association is hard at work preparing for potentially a spring tackle season. I think everybody's hopeful that eventually we get there, including Steve Pahl, who is the junior varsity coach for the 2021 season. Good to see you, Steve. First of all, what can you say to the parents and the players about what might lie ahead here in the coming weeks?
Well, Darren, I think what we've done so far, we got to prepare for the season like anyone. I really love what Jackson has put together for these young men, right, and young women. It really gives us an opportunity to experience universities, right, as best we can right now. I think he has 17 lined up. The $50 that is being charged to register your child for the program will go towards your football fees. But where else do you spend $50 to get to be in front of 17 university coaches? You don't, right? You know what I mean? So I think having that set up with Jackson is a great thing for these young people. And that's the best we can start with right now. We're looking to hit that football field as soon as we possibly can, but it'll be in time, right?
I think it's really great. And I talked to Jackson last week about this. It's an excellent program starting on February 1st. If you don't know about it, the Cambridge Lions are basically running virtual sessions with all the coaches in the OUA and a number of coaches from U Sports. And it's an opportunity really for the players to listen to the university coaches, take in some information. And like you say, Steve, the $50 that it costs in order to register will ultimately go towards your registration fees down the line. What do you think the players can take away, or what are some of the lessons they can learn? I know it seems obvious, but what an opportunity for these young junior varsity players to hear what it's like to play at the next level, because I think those are messages they're going to hear a lot in the coming years.
Well, and I think what the young guys are going to hear from the university coaches, one is more about the university itself, right? If we're looking at somewhere like Ottawa or Windsor or some of the schools out west that Jackson has lined up, it's not like it's in our backyard where we can go see Waterloo or Laurier. These guys are going to get to see a lot of the great universities that Canada has to offer, and also get to meet the coach. You're going to have an opportunity to spend time with the coach, the head coach, that you normally don't get even in the camps. So, I think one of the best things is that your face is going to be remembered when you're on these Zoom calls. That coach, when he sees, say Jesse Jensen in 3 years and wants to recruit that young man, he's going to remember, oh, Jesse, I remember you being on that Zoom call when we couldn't really have football, right? So I think it's a huge plus.
Let's say everything falls into place, and I know that's what I'm hoping for and you're hoping for as well, and we get back on the field here in a couple of months. What can the athletes expect from the junior varsity Lions program this year, Steve?
Well, I think we haven't really changed who we are. I mean, I know this age group, I've had a pleasure of coaching probably since they've been Tyke, right? I really kind of followed these guys up. My 2003s to 2006, that's been really the age group that I've coached. So we're not really going to change a whole lot what we do. I mean, we practice really hard. We pay attention to details. We treat games as a bonus. That's how we do things around here, right? We put a lot of attention to practice, film studies, and then also another aspect that we've been really working with the kids on is what are you doing outside of rep football, right? Are we in the gym? Are we working out? Do we got a personal trainer? These things are huge for these young people to start doing, especially at this age group. Most of them are 15, 16 years old, and we're going to look down trying to play at the university level.
I know that registration numbers have been really good so far, and I think part of that is, the possibility of playing football this spring from a tackle perspective. Who are some of the key players? I mentioned Jesse Jansen there just a minute ago. Obviously, he's one. Who are some of the others, Steve?
Yeah, I think if you look at our wide receiver group, I think we probably have one of the best overall wide receiver groups in Ontario, with Chase, Tyson, Damien, and we also found a new young man, and his name is Mason. He actually plays at St. Benny's, but in our flag football over the spring, really showed out great speed, right? So I think our wide receiver core is going to be great. When we had this group in Bantam, these three kids led, from 1 to 4 in every category, right? So the three are really, really dynamic. That's played for me before, and I look for Mason to do great things, right? QBs is going to be a great race. Miles Foote has won 2 championships undefeated with me. He's going to come back. He's going to be pushed with Johnny Spaltor. One of the other guys that I really love, and I think a lot of coaches, especially at the next level, are really going to be excited about this young man, is going to be Alex Poletic. Not just with his play on the football field, but his just leadership qualities that he has.
Got a really great attitude, and that's one of the things too, Steve. We talk about the players that you mentioned there: Chase Judge, Damian Plousta, Tyson, Poletic. All of these kids have a great attitude, and they're willing to learn, and they're willing to absorb information. And I think that that's something, especially when you're learning from the high level coaches that you have in your staff for the upcoming season. I think that could be all a really nice recipe for success too. Can you speak to the coaching staff that you've got this year, and some of the guys that Mark Paddock, Will McMahon, your offensive and defensive coordinators? You've assembled a great staff, and it all seems like it should be a nice marriage when you get on the field.
Yeah, you know what? Our OC from our Bantam year was a great OC, Binge, but his background was more in 4-down football. Mm-hmm. So we really went out for our JV year to find a guy that was a 3-down kind of guy. And Mark Paddock, I mean, when you win 5 championships back to back at Jacob Hespler, the leadership qualities that he's had. He's also won a Bantam OV championship with Cambridge Lions back in the day. So it only made sense to go find and go get this man to come coach with us. Mm-hmm. I always give it to him because, he's kind of chicken to go play Resurrection because, I coach at Resurrection. Resurrection, we won 5 championships straight too at the JV level. But, Paddock, I can't get those guys over the Hawks to come down to the Phoenix so we can, beat them up a little bit, right?
Always good high school football talk. Always good rivalries. Jacob Hespler obviously has been the outstanding championship team for 5 years under Mark Paddock. You've done an amazing job at Resurrection. The one last thing I want to talk to you about, Steve, is right now, and I don't want to talk about COVID, obviously, but I know it's obviously difficult for everybody. You mentioned a few minutes ago getting in the gym, getting in the basement, just working out, going for a run, little things like that. How much are you stressing that to the players right now? Because obviously you want them to be best prepared if and when we end up playing spring tackle football.
Well, I think the first thing we talk to the players about is safety first, right? We want to follow the guidelines that has been put out by the government, period, right? Because if we do our part, then we can get what we want later on, right? We want a season. So, we want the kids to be safe. So anything that they can do by working out at home, when the gyms go work, reopen up, we want them back in the gym, right? We've got some great trainers in this area, in the Cambridge market, in the Kitchener market, some really good guys that trains kids. We give that information out at practice, So I think the biggest thing is just staying active, right? Mentally active. We can always get that body in shape. But again, we want to make sure we're following the guidelines, right?
Yeah. Nice talking football with you, Steve. Good to see you. I hope in a couple of months we're back at Jacob Hespler preparing for an OPFL season. If you'd like to learn more about registration, some of the university sessions that we talked about starting on February 1st, you can check out CambridgeLions.ca. You can see everything there. You can register. And Steve, look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day, Darren.
For more highlights, visit our website, 519sportsonline.ca. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.